often we know our inner being can lead us through a moment of contrast, knowing that that will bring us the solution.
Isn't that clever?
Oh.
And you know why? Because your inner being knows where you are, and that's all right. Because your inner being knows where you are, and that's all right. So now let's just throw this into this conversation. What do you think your inner being's expectation is for you?
Always well-being.
Thriving, well-being. Yeah.
Wow. I'm feeling such the release of that, because once again, because it's just about the focus of the now and the now, if you just put it in that, I'm focusing on the dream pile of what I'm wanting, whether it's worthiness, finances, or whatever, if that breath work or the contrast, whatever, would be part of that journey, you just continue to surrender to that.
Breath work falls into the category of meditation work. It's finding something to focus upon. You acknowledge the problem, and then you disengaged from the problem. The first thing that happened is that it was activated and you recalled it. But as you continued to focus upon the breath, then you connected with source energy and literally had a step 5 moment where your inner being is actually addressing the problem and its irrelevance and its unimportance.
It became step 5, and I think that's what it is. And as we learn now, it's just, contrast doesn't mean unwanted, it's just variety. And I think that that's what I grew from that.
Say that again. Contrast is variety. Contrast is variety. Contrast is variety. Resistance is
the disconnection.
Resistance is a slowing of the energy, an opposite energy. And since you are where you are, so you sit to do the work and you are where you are. So you begin breathing deliberately, and what does that do? It right away showed you what was stuck in your vibrational crotch. When you go faster, resistance shows more. Yes? But because you had enough momentum going with it, in other words, it's possible. And some therapies work against their true intention in that way, where they focus upon the problem. If you focus on a problem without breath work, it's a whole different deal.
Yeah, let's not do that. And that's why I do my yoga, is because, interestingly enough, we put ourselves through a little bit of tension through breath or postures, and sometimes things get brought up, but now I'm so seeing it. I just keep step 5ing it because I just know the end of it is so beneficial and it feels so good.
A little bit of tension is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's sort of what keeps your Earth spinning in its orbit in perfect proximity to other planets. But to be able to manage it, that matters.
So that sense of emotions are stored in our body then doesn't necessarily have relevance, because it's just your point of attraction.
Emotions are not stored in your body. This is a good discussion. You have time?
Oh. Do they have time?
You are where you are, and where you are is on a continuum of becoming. So you couldn't be where you are without the momentum that provided you being where you are. And so there is this state of becoming that is continually happening. And so that which led to that, which led to that, which led to that, which led to that is momentum. And there is no way of disengaging with that momentum. You can't just all of a sudden be in another place. And so that's what habits of thought are. That's what beliefs are. Beliefs are just subjects that you continue to activate in similar ways. And when you really, for a long time, generational even, activate beliefs in a similar way, they become expectations. They become points of attraction. And it's easy to understand why you believe them, because somebody thought it, then they lived it, then they talked about it, then you observed it, then you offered a vibration, then you lived it, then others observed it. So it's easy to understand how those expectations get underway, isn't it? And so our goal in this deliberate co-creative work is not to cease to be whatever we've been, because you can't cease to be what you are, and what you are is a lot of what you've been. Where you stand now is because of all that you've lived, but you have constant new choices of direction. The wonderful thing about getting more and more deliberately under the influence of Source is you get a bigger and bigger picture of what is possible for you. Jerry always said about those that he was wanting to mentor or uplift or teach or guide in some way, I just want them to see what the possibilities are. And that's really what your inner being knows. Your inner being knows what you put into your vortex, but your inner being can see all kinds of possibilities that you can't see. So in any moment in time, you will always be, as long as you are in your physical body, you will always be moving in the direction of less and less resistance, because your inner being is calling you to more and more of what you want with less and less resistance. And once you master that, once you get over the human feeling that I've got to suffer and sacrifice and earn in order to move forward, then big wads of resistance fall by the wayside. And so we're walking this delicate balance where we're wanting you to understand that, yeah, you've got resistance, but don't make it a life's work. And yes, you've got resistance, but don't make that a wrong thing. Live within these laws of the universe while you are deliberately reaching forward to the becoming, because it's the becoming that it is all about, you see. So, question. Can you become more without having lived what you've lived before?
Well, we're the culmination of everything that's...
Here's something else. This will be good for you to think about too. Do you anticipate that your future is positive, given what we've been talking about the vortex?
Yes.
So let's say that your future manifestations are positive. If your now reality feels negative, can you accomplish those future positive manifestations? No, you can't get there from there. You can't get to better future from unpleasant now. Yes? So keep following with us. So if now is unpleasant, what am I most likely to be regurgitating and bringing forward?
The negative of the past.
So that's why we don't want you to forget your past, but if you did, it might help you.
It's so irrelevant.
But you can't forget it because there's this continuity. So really what we're asking you to do is just lean more in the direction of your becoming and understand that you've always been in the state of becoming, and understand that your inner being is only involved in your state of becoming. There's something about feeling the blessed vortex, which leads to being proud of where I am, which then gives you permission to love everything that you have been also. People call that forgiveness. We don't forgive because we never condemned to begin with. So we don't really get what you're going through in that sense, because it seems like wasted exercise to us to condemn to begin with. We're just kidding you. It's who you are as humans. But now you don't have to be quite so human-like. You can lean in the direction of who you really are more of the time. And can't you feel this? That's what you were describing to us earlier. Can't you feel this glorious relief in the anticipation of all of the wonder that's coming to manifestation, and utter appreciation of where I am? Good me, love me, like me, I like me, I like me, I like me, I like me. And since I like what I'm becoming, and I like so much what I am, then thank you for everything that I've been, that led to everything that I am, that's leading to everything that I'm becoming. That's forgiving yourself. That's finally letting yourself off the hook. That's getting started now. That's yodeling down the canyon. Let's go.
That's just completely step fiving, not only the point of attraction now, but in a way being the step 5 of your past. And I think that's what it was. I was still thinking, and now with the conversation.
All right, so this is really good. Brilliant, you. So why is it harder to step 5 the past? Oh, because it happened and it's solid. What did our friend say? It's solid, it's meaty, it's real, it's reality. And I'd have to be a fool not to accept it as it is. Well, feels a little different now, doesn't it? Because now I'm selectively sifting in all of that glorious contrast. Thankful for every bit of every bit of every bit of every bit of every bit. And you're loving you, you're loving them, everybody's off the hook. Oh, it's so much nicer to go through a day where you're loving. Yeah.